Every 2 years, the art world descends on a sinking city, and I mean that literally. Venice is actually sinking, roughly 2 millimeters a day, which feels honestly like the perfect metaphor for what happens inside it. Welcome to the Venice Biennale, the oldest, strangest, most politically charged contemporary art event on the planet. It started in 1895. King Umberto I of Italy wanted a national exhibition. Fine, great, very royal. But by 1907, other countries start showing up. Then more, then more. Now you've got over 90 nations building their own permanent pavilions, their own little embassies of culture, in a park in Venice called the Giardini. Think about that, 90 countries, each with their own building on permanent loan from the city of Venice. Curated, funded, and politically freighted by their own governments. This was supposed to be about art. It became something much more complicated. Alongside the national pavilions, there's the main international exhibition, the big show, curated by a single artistic director, appointed fresh every edition. This is where the Biennale sets its intellectual agenda, where it tells you what it thinks contemporary art means, what it should be doing, and who it thinks the world needs to hear from. The venues are the Giardini, the Pavilion Park and the Arsenale, a vast medieval shipyard that now houses some of the most ambitious installation work you'll see anywhere. Together, they run from May to November, half a year of this, every 2 years. Venice doesn't get a rest. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Biennale hands out Golden Lions, Best National Pavilion, Best Artist, Lifetime Achievement. These awards can reshape careers overnight. A Golden Lion changes the market. It changes the conversation. Collectors who were watching become collectors who are buying. Institutions start calling. So there are very clear winners and there are very clear losers. The artists who go home without a mention, the smaller nations without the budget to compete, the practices that don't photograph well and don't survive the algorithm. But let's talk geopolitics, because this is where it gets proper messy. The National Pavilion model is essentially a relic of 19th century imperial logic. Great powers planting flags, projecting identity, competing for prestige. And that friction is completely alive today. Russia's pavilion has sat dark since the invasion of Ukraine. Israel's participation has triggered mass protests and walkouts. Palestine has never held a pavilion of its own. Post-colonial nations are increasingly using their slot to challenge the very framework they're participating in. The Biennale doesn't resolve these tensions. It holds them uncomfortably, in public, in a city full of tourists who mostly came to see the canals. Which is, I think, why it matters. Because the art world's contradictions, who gets seen, who gets funded, who gets to speak and who decides, they're all here, compressed into 6 months in one extraordinary, impractical, beautiful sinking city. I'm Will Jarvis, this is Dispatches from the Floating City, and we're just getting started.